Recently, I've been shaving with Schick's Hydro 5 Sense, and I haven't used a Schick blade in years. So I ordered their free trial kit, their starter kit, and it came with a couple of goodies, and I'm going to tell you all about it coming up. What's up, everybody? Phil Deppen here with Not a Hair Model, where we talk about all things bald for all bald people. Whether it's medically, naturally, partially, intentionally, whateverly, doesn't matter. We're just glad you're here. So as I was saying earlier, I've been shaving with Schick's Hydro 5 Sense Razor, and I'm going to tell you all about it. But before we get to the review, I'm going to give you a little history of Schick. So here we go. So Schick has a history of shave firsts. In 1875, the Star Safety Razor was manufactured, and it was the first ever quote-unquote safety razor. In 1898, Pall Mall Safety Razor came out, introduced by Wilkinson Sword, and Wilkinson Sword later went on to become part of Schick. In 1926, the refillable razor was introduced and invented by Jacob Schick and inspired by the magazine-loaded rifle. In 1956, stainless steel blades were introduced for a quality, long-lasting shave. In 1970, shave gel came out. Edge shave gel for a smooth shave on the skin was when that started. In 1979, lubrication strips were introduced, and they aided with razor glide and minimized friction and irritation. In 1992, wire-wrapped blades became a thing, and they added a layer of protection between the razor and your skin. In 2003, 4-blade razors were introduced, and the Quattro became the first commercialized 4-blade refill cartridge razor. Also introduced with a 2-in-1 razor, Intuition lathers and shaves in one step. In 2008, the Quattro titanium trimmer came out and both shaved and trimmed. In 2017, hydrating gel became a thing. Now the reason I picked this one is because I did a search for other razor subscriptions and to see what else was out there, to see other than the typical ones you always hear about. And this was the one that Schick offered, so I ran with it. They offered me 3 different options in blades. They offered an Energize, a Hydrate, and a Sensitive. And I'm a fair-skinned, freckled Irish kid with sensitive skin, so I had to go with the sensitive skin one. And then they gave me an option for the handle color, so I just chose the green one because that matched the sense of the blade color. Because it has to match, right? I mean, come on. So we're going to start with the handle. My first impressions when I opened up the box was that this thing is massive. It is huge, bigger than probably any other razor I've ever seen or used. And now that's not to say that it's heavy. It's not. It's surprisingly not heavy, actually. So let's talk about the grip. There's lots of rubber. It feels really nice in your hand. It offers good balance and control. It's exactly what you'd want in a razor handle. So now let's talk about the blade and the way it attaches to the handle. It came out of the box preloaded with the blade already on it. And normally when you get refill blades, they're gonna come in that little plastic magazine, that cartridge holder of the 4 or 5 blades, whatever they are. And so that holds it in place, then you just snap the blade into that and it's super simple. But this one was already preloaded, and so I detached it just to attach it, just to see how it worked. But the angle and things like that were a little awkward because obviously it wasn't in the holder that it normally would come in. So it worked fine, it worked great. It had a little tendency to twist to the side and move, but again, that's just because it wasn't held in place by the holder. I pushed the button to flex these 2 little arms here to get it to move out of the way of the blade and it receiving this thing. I get really annoyed with some of these other razors where you click it in, the blade goes on, but then it pops right off. If I was gonna drop this thing or even just tap it on my hand, sometimes this razor head, the cartridge, just comes falling right off and it's really annoying. So I pull on this thing a little bit. This is not going anywhere. This is not popping off, which is great. So that's not an issue at all. And then also the release of it is, again, just this little simple 1-button push, just pops right off. Super simple, super easy, super great. So that's really cool. Now the next thing to note is that it has this little tiny switch under here. What that does is it allows the handle to flex. Or if you flip it, it locks it so it doesn't travel quite as much. What's interesting about this though is nowhere in the materials in the box does it say what that switch is for. I checked on the website, I went digging, I went looking around. Unless I'm just blind to it and don't see it on there, They don't give a lot of detail about what that does and what scenarios you would use it and why you would use it in certain situations. I had to figure it out, which is not hard to figure out what it does, but my question is why? Why is it there? Because most other razor handles are just rigid, and I tried shaving both ways, both with it flipped in both directions, up and down, so flex and no flex, and it really didn't seem to make a difference. So I'm not really sure why it's there, but that's what it does. So now we're going to talk about the blade itself, and it's called the Hydro 5 Cents because you guessed it, it's 5 blades. There they are, 5 blades. Again, like I mentioned earlier, this thing is just big and beefy, and the blade is no exception. That is a thick, deep blade. That's a lot of plastic. And I understand why it's there, but yet I don't understand why it's all there. The other thing is that with these blades, I originally didn't think it came with a trimmer blade. That's a big trend lately, is a lot of cartridge razors are coming with trimmer blades. But after handling this thing and messing around with it and just spending some time looking at it and flipping switches and trying different things and doing different stuff to it, I actually found it may have a version of a trimmer blade. Let me explain that. What I found by accident, purely by accident, I was messing with this and this part here flexes normally, okay? But if you hold that still, this part pops up. And I'm not really sure why, but I'm speculating that it's to get this blade a lot closer to the areas you need to trim and the detail work you need to do. So they're basically moving that big plastic thing out of your way. But again, there's no documentation anywhere. It doesn't say that it even does that. I just happened to stumble across it, just messing around with it. So why that's there is, again, my only guess is because it's to make it kind of a trimmer blade with that first blade right there. That's a guess. I have no clue. So anyway, it was kind of cool is my point. It was really cool to come across it. Really ingenious, really well thought out, and kind of neat. So quick story. When I first started shaving my face way back when, and then when I first started shaving my head, which is also way back when, all I would ever use was Schick's Edge shave gel. That's all I would use. I loved it. It was my go-to. I was so excited when I used to go buy it, and they had different colors and different scents that would come and you could pick what you wanted. And then, life goes on, things move forward, you change your preferences of, your products and choices and things like that. So then I saw the shave kit was available with the shave gel, and I was like, oh, that'd be so cool to try it again after all these years and see what my thoughts are and how different they are and different viewpoints on things and what it would be like after all this time. So I was excited, so I ordered my kit, and then I was all excited when the kit arrived, and I opened it up and I was like, oh, there's the razor, and oh, there's the shave gel in this cool little travel tube. And then I opened it and it's just shave cream, which is fine, but I was really excited to do a review of the shave gel and kind of have a trip down memory lane and a little nostalgic, some nostalgia, things like that. But not in this video. We'll do it in another video. But anyway, life moves on. So let's keep going. So now let's talk about the shaving cream. The shaving cream says 2-in-1, protects and conditions in one step. I can agree with that. It seemed like it was really nice on my skin. It didn't really feel dry or anything after the shave, which was nice. The texture was good, smelled good and clean, spread really well. Didn't foam, not a lot of foam at all. It says non-foam on it actually. So that's not a big thing at all, and which is fine. I'm great with that. Shaving cream, exactly what you'd expect in a shaving cream. Nothing too fancy, nothing too simple, but just kind of middle of the road, and just a good addition to the kit. Now the shave on my head was really, really nice. Shave on my face was really, really nice. And the glide was really good on my head too. The razor just took everything off. It was really nice and smooth, really smooth afterwards. No tugging, no pulling, no irritation, no hesitation. It was gliding right through, really nice. I actually really enjoyed using this razor on my head. Face, same thing, not a problem at all. My neck is where I had the problem. So the neck part was really irritated and red afterwards. Took a lot of passes on my neck. So that was kind of a bummer. That I didn't really like too much. The flow through on this razor was just okay. It would get a little clogged. It would clear pretty easily, but a little more work than what I would like to see in a razor. Now, something else worth noting on the shave, and this is gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna sound nuts when I say this, but it's true. This razor was actually really hard to see around. And what I mean by that is when I'm doing my work and doing my strokes and things, it was just really hard to tell where I was on my head. I know I do a lot of it by feel, but it was just big and bulky and just really hard to see around. So when I was trying to do the detail work, I just had a really hard time seeing around it. It's big and bulky and just in the way is a way to say it. So that really wasn't super cool. If I'm trying to trim facial hair, forget it. I can't see anything around this. I just can't see. So just something worth noting, really hard to work with any kind of detail work. If you're shaving everything, not a problem, because you're just looking for whatever is left over. But if you're trying to do some sort of design or detail, yeah, this probably is not what you're gonna wanna use. Now let's talk about the price. The starter kit includes the handle, one blade, and the Edge 2-in-1 shave cream. And you get that for free, technically for free, with $4 in shipping. Now the refills are $11.99 for one pack of 4 cartridges, plus $4 in shipping. So these things are gonna cost you $4 a piece. Now it's worth noting that if you buy $15 or more worth of stuff on the website, they give you free shipping. So let's say you add 2 refills into your cart for $24, then each refill blade drops to $3. That's better, but it's still pretty steep. That price is pretty steep. So there you have it. Schick's Hydro 5 Cents starter kit review. Cool little kit, handle, blade, shave, cream, not gel. Found that out the hard way, disappointed. Oh well, my fault, not theirs. Cool little kit, free plus shipping, so that's kind of nice. The blade pricing, little steep, little hard to justify if you ask me. It seems like a lot of technology, a lot of high-techy looking stuff that really doesn't need to be there, but if that's what you're into, if that's your sort of thing, fine, great, go for it. Decent shave, didn't have a problem with it other than the irritation on my neck. But other than that, yeah, I mean, go check it out. It's not gonna be my go-to thing that I use, that's for sure, but go check it out and maybe you'll like it, give it a shot. Be sure to check out the description below the video because all the resources we mentioned in the video, we put the links to down there. And we give away some free stickers, so go get a free sticker while you're there as well. Go check it out, links are all down there. If you got some value out of this video, give it a thumbs up, click on subscribe, turn on bell notifications if you want to be notified the next time we post another video. If you have a question or a comment or have a certain product you'd like to see us review, throw that down in the comments as well. We'll get that done for you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.